In this video, we are going to see the different types of tension members, different types of shapes or cross sections of the tension members. See, these tension members may consist of single structural shape, or they may be built using a number of structural shapes. As you can see here, this is a member which is obtained by joining two angle sections back to back. And this is a section that is obtained by joining two channel sections back to back. And this is obtained by joining two angle sections again. And this is a section that is obtained by joining two channel sections and two plate to get this shape. These are called as compound sections. So these sections can be used as tension members, or in some cases single structural shapes such as this single L, single T or channel section, or a tube or a pipe I sections, or a built up I sections or tube sections can be used, or sometimes flat bars and round bars can also be used as the tension members. So we have come across these members in some cases. For example, as I told you, in the bridge truss, we generally see the usage of angular sections or I sections uh, as the tension members, as you can see in this image, right? And sometimes we use these ropes or coil ropes also, such as in case of suspended bridge and cable strayed bridges. These are the tension members that we use, right? So when two elements or two members are being joined to form a single tension member, they has to be interconnected properly at reasonable intervals. For example, see, this image here shows two angle sections joined back to back to form a single compression member, right? This is how this tension member is going to look, right? So now, since these two members has to behave as a single member, there should be a proper connection between these two angles so that these two angles behave as a single section, isn't it right? So these two separate elements or members are often placed parallel to each other with a gap of 6 to 10 mm between them. Generally there is a gap that is left between these two sections here, between 6 to 10 mm, and we are going to weld these two sections by using the spacer plates with intermittent fillet weld. See, this is an angle, this is an angle, this is angle 1 and this is angle 2, and these small plates are nothing but spacer plates, and these spacer plates have the thickness of 6 to 10 mm. So when they are placed between these two welds, I mean these two angles, the spacing between these two angles will be equal to the thickness of the spacer plate, isn't it? And these spacer plates are welded to the angle section 2 and 1 on both sides, so that these angle sections are held by these spacer plates. Or you can do this in another way. How is that? You can join these two angle sections by using a gusset plate, and these are joined by welding or bolting, and this gusset plate holds these two angle sections together. Coming to the usage of these sections, different sections are used in different places, right? For example, a T section can be used or may be used as a tension member, as a chord member. So I told you chord is nothing but tie beam, right, in roof truss. And this tie beam is of T section in lightly loaded trusses instead of back to back angle sections. Of course, T section instead of T section, you can use this back to back connected two angle sections also, right? So this also behaves like a T section. Two back to back joined angle sections behave as a T section. And tubular member, this is a tube, are used in roof trusses as tension members. And I sections, channel section ante C shape. I section or built up sections using angles and built up sections using angles we have seen earlier, or channel sections, built up channel sections are used when greater rigidity is required and hence are often used in bridge structures. As you can see in this image, this is a built up section and this is a built up section, and this is also a built up section with different members, right? See, two angle sections are joined here and plates and channel sections in this fourth figure, right? So these are used when greater rigidity is needed. The structure, the member is going to have more strength. Okay, so when more strength is required for a member to have, in such case we go for this I sections or channel sections or built up sections using angle and channel sections. And rods and bars are often used as tension members in bracing systems. So as I told you, we are using this bracing system to give rigidity to the frame structure, right, to building, to the lateral forces. When lateral forces are acting, when we need to give these rigidity to the frame, what we need to do is you have to put these bracings, and these bracings can be angle sections, but in most cases in the industrial structures we use these rods or bars, circular cross section. Okay, when rods are used as wind bracings, they are pre-tensioned to reduce the effect of sway. So you people know what is pre-tensioning. We are going to introduce some tensile stresses when we are using these rods in this structure.